My name's Evan. I'm 25. And for the last year and a half, I've been working overnight at a rundown 24-hour diner off a service road outside Cleveland. The kind of place that smells like fryer oil no matter how much you scrub. The neon sign outside buzzes nonstop, like it's angry about being alive. Night shift is usually dull. Truckers killing time. Insomniacs nursing bad coffee. Couples arguing over pancakes like it's couples therapy with syrup. Nothing ever really happens. Until a Tuesday morning at 1:18 a.m., a car rolled into the parking lot and didn't park. It just sat there, engine running, headlights on full blast, cutting straight through the front windows. Bright enough to light up the counter, the booths, my reflection in the chrome. At 1 a.m., headlights feel aggressive, personal. I was debating whether to step outside when the phone rang. Our landline only rings for call-in orders. I picked up. All-night diner. A man's voice answered, calm, flat, like he was reading from a grocery list. Yeah, patty melt combo, extra pickles, sweet tea. My fingers moved automatically over the keyboard. That'll be paying by card, he interrupted. Name's Rick. Normal, boring, whatever. I made the food, wrapped it, bagged it, set it on the counter under the heat lamp. 10 minutes passed. No one came in. I walked to the door and looked outside. The car was gone. No tire tracks cutting fresh lines in the snow. No footsteps. No silhouette disappearing into the dark. Just empty asphalt and cold air. I checked the receipt, paid in full, even tipped. I stared at the bag like it was supposed to explain itself. And yeah, I ate it later. I'm not proud, but free food hits different when rent's due. A week later, it happened again. Same car, same time, same voice, same order. Paid, tipped, gone. Then again. By the third time, I stopped questioning it. I started expecting it, like some messed up reward system. Congrats, Evan. You survived another week. Here's a free meal. Every 4 or 5 nights between 1 and 2 a.m., the phone rang. Until one night, the script changed. I picked up. All-night diner. Same order, he said. Then he paused. Hope you've been enjoying it, Mr. Ralston. My stomach dropped. Ralston is my last name. I don't wear a name tag. It's not posted. It's not online. There is no reason a stranger should know it. I just stood there staring at the wall, my hand clenched around the receiver. Who is this? I finally asked. Silence. Then, like he was smiling, you know, click. No car showed up, no order. The rest of the shift felt wrong. Every sound felt deliberate. The hum of the fridge, the buzz of the neon sign, even my own breathing felt too loud. I drove home checking my mirrors the entire way. When I reached my apartment, there was a small envelope under my doormat, my first name written on it. Inside was a torn piece of notebook paper. 72 hours. That was it. I didn't sleep that night. I left every light on, waiting for something I didn't understand. Nothing happened. The next night at 1:22 a.m., the phone rang again. Same order. I didn't touch the keyboard. What do you want? Write this down. He gave me an address way out past town. Then he said it. Drop off 10,000. Cash. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Yeah, okay. His tone didn't change. Don't make this complicated, Evan. That hit harder than my last name. Now he knew my first name too. When I demanded answers, he said only, 48 hours now. Click. I ignored it. 2 nights later, glass exploded through my living room window. A rock skidded across the floor and stopped under my coffee table. The police came, took a report, asked if I had enemies. I laughed. I work nights at a diner. One cop paused, then said something I still think about. Sometimes it's not enemies. Sometimes it's opportunity. The next day, my manager pulled the receipt history. The card wasn't under Rick. It wasn't under any personal name. It was a corporate security account. That's when it clicked. This wasn't extortion, it was evaluation. That night, I didn't go home. I stayed at my sister's place. At 1:19 a.m., my phone buzzed. Unknown number. You're not home. I never told anyone where I was. And that's when I understood the truth. He wasn't trying to rob me, he was proving he already had access. Because when someone knows your routine, your name, your address, you're not a person anymore. You're a door, and someone already has the key. I used to drive nights for extra cash after college. Delivery apps, ride share, whatever was paying. It wasn't a career move, just survival money. Weekend nights were the best, surge pricing, drunk college kids, and streets that felt half asleep. This happened outside Richmond, Virginia on a Saturday night around 2:40 a.m. I just dropped off my last passenger way past the suburbs, the kind of area where streetlights stop showing up and GPS starts guessing instead of knowing. When the app went quiet, I decided to head back toward the city and call it a night. About 10 minutes into the drive, I saw a car stop dead in the middle of the road, hazard lights blinking. Two people stood in front of it, waving both arms. My first instinct was, nope. I've heard the stories, fake breakdowns, roadside traps, people pretending to need help so you'll stop. But then I slowed down and noticed something that messed with my head. They looked normal, middle-aged, clean clothes, no masks, no frantic movement. Just a couple that looked like they should be asleep in a house with a porch light on. So I stopped, far back, and cracked my window just enough to talk. Not polite, strategic. The woman stepped forward first, her breath puffed in the cold air. "Thank God," she said. "There's a bridge ahead. It collapsed earlier tonight. People don't see it until it's too late." She pointed down the road into total darkness. The man stepped up beside her. Calm, too calm. "There's a turnoff back there," he said. "Dirt road through the woods. It'll loop you back to the highway. Adds some time, but it's safer." They stood close together, practiced, like they'd said this before, more than once. I remember thinking, why are you still out here? Where are the cops? Where are the cones? Where is any official warning? But the part that stuck with me didn't hit until later. They never named the bridge, never mentioned the river, never said a road number. Just the bridge, like it was something you weren't supposed to say out loud. I thanked them and drove on. About a mile later, I saw the dirt road, barely visible. Just a narrow opening in the trees, swallowing the headlights. No mailbox, no reflectors, no sign, except one. A small, hand-painted board nailed to a tree. Detour. That should have made me feel better. Instead, it felt like an invitation, like someone was expecting me. I kept driving straight. 2 minutes later, I reached the bridge. It was completely fine. No damage, no barricades, no construction, just a normal bridge over a shallow creek. I crossed it and laughed under my breath, telling myself I'd overthought the whole thing. But that night I didn't sleep well, because my brain wouldn't let go of one question. If they lied about the bridge, why? A few days later, curiosity got the better of me. I drove back out there in broad daylight, sun out, birds chirping, everything harmless. The couple was gone, but the dirt road was still there, and this time, there was another sign nailed above the first. Dead end. I stared at it longer than I should have. I parked on the shoulder and told myself I'd just walk in a little, 100 feet, maybe less. The dirt path twisted between the trees. The air smelled damp and old, like leaves that never fully dried. The deeper I went, the quieter it got. No wind, no birds, just my footsteps. That's when I noticed the first tack, a small reflective dot hammered into a tree at eye level. Then another, and another. They weren't random. They were placed on the inside of turns, guiding you deeper. That's not hiking, that's navigation. My stomach tightened. Farther in, I saw a bent metal stake half buried in the dirt. A strip of faded red fabric was tied to it, fluttering slightly, like someone had marked a spot. I took another step, then froze. The smell hit me. Bleach, strong, sharp, recent. And then the woods screamed. A woman's scream, raw and tearing. Not dramatic, not cinematic. Real. The kind of scream that empties a person out. I ran. I don't remember turning around. I don't remember breathing. I only remember my car door slamming and gravel spraying as I peeled away. I called 911 the second my phone got signal. The dispatcher went quiet when I described the couple. Then she said, "We've had reports of a couple matching that description." I asked what that meant. She told me to stay where I was. Later, a detective called. He sounded tired. He told me abandoned vehicles had been found near those woods. No crashes, no bodies, just cars. People who took a detour. A month later, I searched missing persons reports. 3 names, same area. One witness statement mentioned a helpful couple warning about a bridge. That road isn't cursed. It's curated. I worked overnight security at a massive logistics warehouse on the outskirts of St. Louis. Just me, a key card, and a wall of camera monitors. The shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Most nights felt endless in the worst way. People think security work is scary. It's not. It's boring. And boredom messes with your head. There's a psychological concept called pattern seeking. Your brain hates randomness, so it invents meaning where there is none. On night shifts, you fight that constantly. Shadows look like people. Sounds feel intentional. I used to repeat that to myself whenever something felt off, until the night the cameras started lying. It was mid-January, snow on the ground, no wind, no traffic, the kind of silence that feels padded. At 1:12 a.m., camera 6 on the loading dock triggered a motion alert. Not unusual. Snowdrifts, animals, false alarms. I pulled up the feed. Empty dock. Floodlights glowing. Snow falling slow and steady. 10 minutes later, another alert. Same camera, then another. Always camera 6. By 2 a.m., it had triggered 6 times. What bothered me wasn't the alerts. It was the feeling that something kept moving just outside the frame. Like if I looked 1 second earlier, I'd see it. At 2:30, I grabbed my coat and flashlight and went outside. The dock doors were locked. The snow was untouched. No footprints except mine. Everything looked normal, which somehow made it worse. 20 minutes later, I heard a sound that didn't belong. A long, metallic scrape, like something heavy being dragged across concrete. It came from inside the warehouse. I froze, then checked the interior cameras. Empty aisles. Still. Then it happened again. Scrape. Then a loud bang. Metal hitting metal. Camera 6 flickered. 3 seconds of static. When it came back, the angle was wrong. Not glitched. Shifted. Someone had touched it. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped inside. The warehouse was enormous. Rows of shelving fading into darkness. Halfway down the main aisle, I heard footsteps. 2 aisles to my left. Slow. Measured. I stopped. The footsteps stopped. I took 1 step. They matched me. There was no echo. Concrete echoes. These didn't, which meant whoever was there was close enough to know exactly where I stood. "Security," I called out. "Identify yourself." No response. I backed into the office and locked the door. Then the alert started again. Not just camera 6. Every camera, one by one, moving toward me. I called 911. Then I saw movement in the reflection of my monitor. I spun around. Nothing. Camera 6 was active again. At the edge of the frame, something pale. A face. One eye. Watching me watch it. The office phone rang. Not my cell. The warehouse line. I answered. A voice whispered, "You're doing a great job." I hung up shaking. Police found nothing. No forced entry. No footprints. No unlocked doors. Access logs showed a keycard entry. At 3:07 a.m. The card ID, mine. My card never left my pocket. I quit a week later. Sometimes when my phone screen flickers at night, I hear that voice again. Encouraging. Like it knows. I'm still being watched. I was 19 when this happened, working nights at a 24-hour gym in Phoenix. One of those budget chains wedged between a vape shop and a closed-down payday loan place, in a neighborhood where half the streetlights didn't work and sirens were just background noise. The gym ran on key cards. Everything was logged. Entries, exits, even how long someone used a treadmill. Overnight shifts were usually dead. A few regulars. A lot of silence. My job was mostly to exist, so the building wasn't considered unattended. That night started normally. I clocked in around 8 p.m., did a walkthrough, wiped down machines, nodded at the one guy who came in every night to lift at midnight like clockwork. By 2 a.m., the gym was empty. That's when I noticed him. He was on a treadmill in the far corner, near the dark glass where the mirrors stopped reflecting properly. At first, nothing about him stood out. Then I noticed the speed, 9.5 miles per hour. Fast, but not impossible. What bothered me was how long he'd been running. 10 minutes passed, then 15. Most runners show something. This guy didn't. He ran like a machine that didn't know it was supposed to stop. I zoomed in on the camera. His clothes were ragged, like he'd slept in them. Hair long and clumped. His face was blank, not focused, just empty. Then I noticed his feet, bare, no shoes, no socks, just skin striking the belt over and over. That should have been enough to stop him. Instead, I froze. That's when I smelled it, a sharp metallic smell, like pennies. I told myself it was sweat, or cleaning chemicals, or anything except what my gut was screaming. I stepped out of the office, using the shoe policy as an excuse. The closer I got, the stronger the smell became. When I turned the corner, my brain lagged behind what my eyes were seeing. Blood, not drops, streaks. Thin red lines flung backward with every step. His feet were torn open, and he didn't slow down. I told him to stop. He didn't react. Then his lips moved. "Are you awake?" The words landed wrong. Not a question, a check. My heart started pounding so hard I felt it in my throat. I backed away and locked myself inside the office. Before calling anyone, I checked the monitors. He was staring directly into the camera. Still running, still bleeding. His mouth was open wider now. Then he stepped off the treadmill and sprinted out of frame. I flipped through cameras. Lobby, empty. Weights, empty. Bathrooms, empty. Then the employee hallway. He was standing 6 feet from my door, perfectly still, just staring. 5 seconds after I locked it, the handle rattled. Hard. I called 911. While I was talking, he started screaming. Not words, just sound. Deep, raw, animal screams. The door shook as he slammed into it. Dispatch said officers were 5 minutes out. 5 minutes felt endless. Then, silence. The hallway camera showed nothing. Police found no entry record, no key card, no name, nothing. The treadmill log showed a session at 9.5 miles per hour, 27 minutes. Still running, still wet. I quit the next day. Weeks later, I checked the gym's reviews. Posted at 2:06 a.m., no name, no stars, just one sentence. He finally stopped running. Now when my phone lights up late at night, I don't check it right away. Because one day it won't be a missed call. It'll just say, "You're awake."